Before we dive into tonight's episode, we've got to give some props to someone who helped us make a splash from day one. Our former co-host and producer, Ty Flood. She stepped away from hosting and production duties, but her impact will forever be a part of the show. So tonight, a new chapter begins, new faces, new energy, same unapologetic realness. A new era of the dating pool show starts now. All right, everybody, I'd like to take a moment to introduce you to the charismatic bestie. Welcome, Cherie.
Hey, guys.
So you call yourself a relationship enthusiast. Where did that come from? How'd you coin that term?
Well, first of all, I love relationships. I love hearing about them. I love talking to people about them. So I'm not an expert at all by any means.
Okay.
I'm an enthusiast. I'm enthusiastic about hearing about relationships.
What's your experience in the dating pool been?
It is like most people in the DMV, when they say they stick their foot in it, it's a little toxic.
So we hope we hear some of that experience on the show as we go, and we'll learn a little bit about this, together.
Well, yes, I'm here to learn as well as hear like others are. So I want to share my experiences and, and definitely want to know more about it. So I'm here as a swimmer.
Okay.
I'm swimming
All right.
in the pool, the dating pool,
Yes,
like
swimming in the
our
pool.
viewers. But I'm also a lifeguard.
All right, so we saving lives? We saving some dating lives out here?
I'm hoping to save some lives.
Okay. All right, so you want to tell the people about our lineup tonight?
Yes. Thank you, Rob, for having me. I want to say that I am excited to get this show going. Tonight's lineup is fire. Joining us is intimacy guru BB Jones. She is in the building. So if you're trying to spice up your love life, stick around. We'll have a panel discussion breaking down the T app and all the messy controversy it's stirring up. Plus, we're going there. Gender roles. We're diving into the Dave Justice interview on the All the Smoke podcast. David gets candid about his marriage 30 years ago to Halle Berry. His reasons to why he and Halle didn't work out had social media buzzing.
All right, that was a pretty good intro, bestie.
Thank
All right,
you.
so unlike David and Holly, I think this just might work out.
Ooh.
All right, you guys, after the break, our Hot Topics panel. You're watching the Dating Pool Show on CTV and YouTube. Don't you move. We'll be back in 60 seconds.
I think I finally found.
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, Mason.
Mason.
Got a new house. It's looking pretty cool so far.
Finally found a place that I call home.
I'm teaching Louise how to cook some lasagna.
It only takes a spark to make a fire start.
Thank you.
Study, please.
I think I finally found a place to make my own. A place that I call home. This place that I call home.
Welcome back. Let's jump right into this conversation because it's a good one. A few weeks ago, an interview went viral. Former MLB player David Justice, who was once married to Halle Berry, opened up about why their marriage didn't work. He said one of the reasons was Halle didn't cook or clean, and he even suggested she didn't seem like the motherly type. Now, here's the context. At the time, David was the one with the big career and the big checks. Halle wasn't the superstar she is today. So that brings us to tonight's topic, gender roles. Do they still matter in relationships or have times changed? Let's talk about it. Joining us are today's panelists, BB Jones and resident therapist, Ebony Bland. So, ladies, thoughts on the topic? Does it matter? Y'all
okay,
both look at each other. Look, do we? What?
So what do we think about gender roles in general?
I think that they have their place, but you definitely have to have conversations before you even get to the point of marriage because you need to be able to manage expectations. I think that traditional gender roles and the way that we think about them are becoming obsolete. I will say that.
I like that. I like that.
Do you think that if a woman is advanced in her career, like Hallie is now, that we say, well, that absolves you of certain gender roles, or are those things evolve?
I do
when
believe
you
that
become wealthy?
I was going to say, I think that there's an evolution just as we relate to time. Like the things that our parents and grandparents did and identified as specific gender roles cannot be applied in today's society because it wouldn't work. It's just not there.
Right.
You know?
I think now we've evolved. It's more of like a partnership.
I think that's what it always should have been, but, the reality is traditionally, no, it was not. It was one-sided.
Bibi, I have to ask you, because you're the guru. Now, what if I'm doing things in the house and at work, shouldn't we both be splitting up the roles? Let's think of gender roles as household. That's what people automatically go to. Household, chores.
I look at it as a skill set.
Okay.
It should be based on what a person is good at. If I am no good at cooking and my husband is, then why would you put that responsibility in my hands? And if you do put it in my hands, understand that I'm going to take care of it the way that I need to take care of it, not the way that you feel that I'm supposed to as a woman. If your ideal woman is somebody who is very domesticated, cooks and cleans, likes rearing the children, wants to stay home, wants to do all of those things, then yes, that gender role in that archetype of that personality fits her. I'm not that one.
Exactly. And I feel like when you're dating, you need to be intentional and not visual.
Absolutely. But that's what depending on who you are and where your mindset, how you grew up, those messages that you receive, what a woman is supposed to do, what a man is supposed to do, some of it I do like to take advantage of. I don't want to take out the trash. I don't want to have to go to the mechanic. I don't want to have to do all of that. So sometimes I lean on my femininity to say, hey, you do that. You're the dude in this situation.
These nails don't like to wash dishes or take out the trash.
Exactly.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie to you. And he did say, David did say in the interview, his mom was doing the domesticated things, and he did judge Hallie based on
his
that.
experiences.
But let's be honest, if you're wealthy, are you really going to be washing dishes?
But she wasn't wealthy at that point.
No, he was.
Yes.
So if you're making millions of dollars, am I really going to be expected to be domesticated as someone who isn't as wealthy? His expectations were not realistic. So as we are entering these relationships, set your expectations.
It's communication and conversation.
Right.
People jump so far into things based off of emotion without thinking, what are your values? What are your morals? Where do you stand? And what you want long-term out of a relationship? That leads down what type of relationship do you want to have?
Exactly. And do not base, how does someone look motherly without a baby or a child?
Was that looks or behavior?
I think it was more so the behavior.
Well, you know what I meant.
And I thought that was so interesting that he chose the word motherly when he referenced his wife. I think that that's a common problem that we have
Are
in dating
those
society.
not quite the same
Absolutely
role?
not.
Okay.
Please, let's break that down.
Yes, let's break that down, please.
What makes a wife a wife?
That's actually a great question.
And
'Cause
why
maybe
would you
every
correlate that to be motherly to you?
Or maybe he was saying this is what he was looking for in a wife.
Right,
Someone
but that
that
leads-
is domestic and would be good with kids or had maternal instincts.
And I think having those skills is great, and identifying that that's what you want is great, but that conversation should have been had before you took vows.
In the beginning of the relationship, he said she was gone all the time shooting movies. He's a baseball player. That's 81 away games, so they weren't together a lot. It was when they actually were together, that's when he was like, ooh, this is not for me. So it's when they actually had time. Like when COVID, we usually are 8 hours away, and we're just spending evenings together. COVID, we're in the house together all day long, so a lot of people got divorced because they were like,
Oh, I don't like
now
this
I know who
person.
you really are.
That goes to the point that both BB and I were making, was that you need to have clear, honest conversations about what you're looking for and what you need so that you can manage subsequent expectations. You can't. It's unrealistic to date a woman who's in the entertainment industry, who is jet setting and starting in a career of being an actress, and expecting her to exhibit qualities,
Midwestern values.
and values that are commensurate to someone that leads a completely different life.
Let's break this down to the real world, like people with real jobs, not an MLB player and not an actress that are making millions of dollars. I'm talking average Joes, with basic
The government
salaries,
worker and
basic
the IT
salaries.
specialist and the
The
therapist.
dating pool.
I think BB made a really good point when she said it's about what you need and what your skill set is, because a lot of times we assign the domestic roles to the woman because again, like I said earlier, that is what was done traditionally speaking. However, I think every man and woman should know the basic life skills and be able to care for themselves.
Yeah, because what are you doing as a single person?
Exactly.
And so, are we supposed to, because now there are more people in the job industry who are losing jobs. Men are now having to be, I don't want to say housewives, but
House
husbands.
or stay-at-home dads.
Are we now looking down on house husbands?
I don't think
How
we
do we
should.
feel about that?
That goes
Are
back to
those-
the same traditional social standards that say a woman is supposed to stay home and raise the kids, a man is supposed to be the breadwinner, a man is supposed to do this, and you violate any of those social standards, then you're automatically a gypsy. You're somebody who is being tagged as not meeting a particular standard.
So basically, you should be out here dating based on what your expectations are, based on what you want, and based on what your needs are.
Pretty much.
And what
Talk
you
about
can-
it up front.
Yes, absolutely.
And not society standards and expectations.
Not society standards, not other people's on you, because society is a big thing. We got infrastructural, societal issues that come down on us, but we also have these little messages from growing up and what our family is supposed to look like. All of these things, messages that drown out all of the things that we want inside. So no, you gotta. That's part of what I do. You have to unlearn all of the shit, all of the stuff that you can, unlearn and just start over and put yourself first.
Well, there's a new tool out to help us date. I don't know if you've heard of it, but it's the T app, and I have to ask you all your opinion on it. The T app was originally set for security reasons, but it is literally spilling all the men's tea about their dating past and history, giving out all the red flags and some green ones,
It's mostly red.
but red ones.
yes.
It's letting you know if they've had past
If they've
relations.
cheated or
If they've cheated, if they have domestic violence.
how many kids do they really have?
Right.
And things like that. What are your opinions on the app?
I think it's a great tool. I think that
Have you been on? Have you looked at that?
I have.
Oh, what did you find?
I just was perusing. I didn't look for anything or anyone in particular, but I do like the fact that it's literally a community coming together to say, hey, these people are presented one way, and that's not who they really are. And
Some people have
Catfishing is
250
probably also a part of
flags.
it?
yes, and that's really bad. That gives light to, patterns of behavior, which should be brought to the forefront when you're talking about relationships. And in the, direct reference of the T app, men's ability to, hop from one relation to another without being held accountable.
Well, BB, the world of kink can get kinky. Is this a good app for women to use?
Yes, I would say yes. I actually didn't hear about the T app until probably about a month ago. Our little community was doing something outside, and we realized that there were multiple people in the group that had dealt with the same person, or where that person had been in multiple inboxes. And had we not talked about it, like a real life tea, because we were at tea, actually, that was funny. While we were there talking, it's like, oh, by the way, this person is actually married, and this person actually has multiple children. Oh, and this person is actually the brother-in-law of a friend of ours who didn't know that he was in the lifestyle.
Oh, boy.
So we need the T-app. Well, things are about to get even steamier, swimmers. BB is diving into kinks, intimacy, and all the ways to turn up the heat. Ready to learn a little something new in the bedroom? Don't blink. More of the dating pool is coming up next, and trust me, you don't want to miss this.
The doctor said I only had a 29% chance to find you. But I knew you were out there. Every night, even when my heart was sad, I wished for you to sign up. I got so sick that I couldn't go to school, but I still made people laugh. But when we matched, it was the best day ever. Dear donor, your blood stem cells saved me from leukemia. Thank you forever and ever and ever. Sincerely, Owen.
Experience the true joy of saving a life at nmdp.org.
Might not see it coming. It's prediabetes, and it captures 1 in 3 adults. You may not even know you have it, but you can escape. Take the 1-minute prediabetes risk test to know where you stand. With early diagnosis, you can change the outcome and prevent or delay type 2 diabetes. Be your own hero on smartphones everywhere at doihaveprediabetes.org.
All right, folks, the moment you've been craving is finally here. BB Jones, our certified sex coach and educator, is in the building. And no, not the kind of teacher with chalk and report cards. We're talking about a real education and the art of pleasure. So, BB, if I sign up for one of your classes, what am I getting into?
Well, if you sign up for one of my classes, you're getting an education.
Okay.
Okay, we're going to start with some foundational stuff. Get you to accept that you've learned some, I don't even know, I want to curse. I know I can't probably curse. That you've learned some BS over the course of the years.
So it's some unlearning.
It's some unlearning that needs to happen.
Okay.
And after we get to a place of unlearning, then if you can graduate, then there's an opportunity to do some experiential learning.
Okay.
So what do we need to exactly unlearn?
Well, basically that everything that you learned about sex was a lie. At least in my opinion. Because they did not teach you. That is naughty, that is bad, that is sinful, that it's, taboo in a lot of ways, that talking about it shouldn't be a thing. Having it should be done in secret and private. And
wait, what?
Yeah. I'm going to a party tonight where I'm going to watch a whole lot of people have sex.
Oh, wow.
So, it just depends on your flow. Not to say that that's for everybody.
Okay.
But I'm just saying, all of the things that they taught you that are so wrong, no, trust me, we can find a route to happiness.
That is interesting because there are so many people that are unsatisfied, that are just out there in the dating pool, swimmers, just swimming, having sex, and not enjoying it, but just doing it and doing it with more people trying to get pleasure.
Right.
But you've laid out a whole array of things, and we are all curious.
She's bringing a lot to the table.
She's literally. There's meat tenderizers that I'm sure are not meat tenderizers, but can you please just let us know, what are we looking at?
Okay. So, first of all, anything can be a sex toy.
Really?
Anything. This little silky tie thing that I have, it could be a blindfold. You could use it as a handcuff to wrap something up. It's basically a silk scarf. You're right, those are meat tenderizers, but because they're textured, so one side has this, so you can rub it across your skin and feel the texture there. This is smooth. It'll get a different texture.
You are hitting yourself with that.
Yeah.
And we heard that thump right there. We did.
Right, and that's there you go.
Yes.
When you get to these floggers, they have different ones that have a thuddy feel, or stingy feel.
Part of the sensation.
Oh yes, it absolutely is. So all of these, basically, you would think that some of them are scary, and they can be, but it's also depending on how you use them.
Mm-hmm. What's the most unusual thing someone has used
that you've seen?
That you've seen or heard of in a class that they've used as a toy?
You mean non-traditional sex toys?
Obviously. Because you said anything can be used.
Anything can be used. Usually food.
Okay.
I knew you were going to say that.
Yeah, because not all food should go in all places.
So what did they use? What kind of food did they use?
It depends on the use. Like, of course, anything phallic, like a cucumber or a banana.
Okay.
I'm sure you've seen the lady who does the grapefruit blowjob. I wouldn't suggest you do that.
I imagine that would maybe burn, possibly.
There's an acidity that you don't want.
Yes,
in certain
on your
places.
parts.
And
Yes,
that would cause quite the disruption.
Absolutely, absolutely. But the people can just get very interesting. Like if you go into the dollar store and look for like fly swatter, you can use a fly swatter as a paddle.
Okay.
I'll never look at a fly swatter the same again.
Now, for somebody who's vanilla. I'm not saying I'm vanilla.
She's
but
using the terms. I'm so proud. Listen
a vanilla.
I call it French vanilla.
French vanilla. French vanilla. How do you introduce the conversation to your partner and go, I think I want to bring a meat mallet into the bedroom?
Okay.
You usually don't go that far.
I don't think you go that far in the beginning, right?
Not in the beginning, maybe. But it depends on are you a talker or are you a doer? Because you could always bring out the mallet and say, hey, look what I learned today.
I don't know if that's the first toy I would bring.
It could be the Warden wheel.
Okay. Oh, this. So, like a little
what would be the first thing you touch?
What does interest you of all the things on the table?
The thing that looks the less intimidating would probably be that red and black, like little whip thing. That looks cute. That looks like I could, go with a little outfit, bring a little leather skirt.
Okay.
And I'll just be bringing a little outfit, and I'll be like, okay.
Pop,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So
that looks like it's safe.
Well, safe, yes, it can
cute.
be safe. And cute,
like a little
cute.
prop, like a little Halloween costume.
Well, it depends on how it feels against your skin.
Mm-hmm.
But I wouldn't say hit me with, I feel like that would hurt.
Though.
Well, yeah, the impact and the how it affects you sensorially is what is where the pleasure comes from, right? Maybe
Yeah.
like if you want that
A little burn,
hard
right?
impact, yeah, if you want that burn or if you want that sting, or like I see that she has what we call these decals on the end. So this creates another layer of sensory even
Get a therapist
within.
and a sex therapist.
Right, yeah.
Within the flogger itself. And so, even you can have some with thicker or thinner threads to give you either more dense or less
Different
dense
material.
impact,
Suede.
everything.
Metal.
So what interests you in entering the world of kink? And why is it called kink? I want to know, why is it kink? Kink sounds, I know you said you shouldn't feel like ashamed, but kink just sounds like kink. Like,
Well, kink is
tonight.
Yes, kink is an umbrella term.
Okay.
Right? It really is an umbrella term. So it was, in my opinion, again, was meant to identify people outside of what is normal.
Okay.
Right? So it was intended for us to feel bad because we were different and we were weird and we did not belong in normal society.
Okay.
So we were freaks, we were weird, we were kinks, we were doing all of those things.
Okay.
But kinky people decided to say,
We're going to own it.
yes. And
Okay.
so now you have community. You have people who have similar interests and have the ability to find each other and express it in places and in ways where you don't have to feel shame or judgment or fear or any of that. So it's about knowing yourself first,
Okay.
then finding your place. So when you know it's yourself, what you want,
Okay.
then you have a better position to ask your partner, be able to communicate with your partner about the things that are interesting to you.
Okay. So do you enter the world of kink with your partner or without your partner? And I think now we need to add a therapist in here. Like, do you solo date?
Wait, do some of the kinks come from some of the trauma or
It can.
experiences
It
that
can
you've had?
manifest that way. Yes, absolutely. I think that if you have a desire or any questions about kink, you need to explore that individually before, so that you can, again, as I always say, manage expectations and, thoroughly communicate what you're feeling and what you may or may not be interested in. I think that you would be doing yourself and anyone that you want to date a disservice
Right.
if you just kind of like jump in, because to BB's point, what she was saying, that safety obviously is a big part of this. You have to establish that first. And that takes a certain level of honesty and integrity within yourself and with your partners and other potential partners, if that's a part of what you want to explore.
Wow. Yeah. So tell us about some upcoming events you have.
Okay. Well, I have what I call the Kinky Lounge. It's in Fort Washington, Maryland, where I host private events. Well, private events meaning it's not a public club. You can't just walk in off the street. We usually promote the events on FetLife. Tonight is a male review, so we have a special party for the ladies for the first couple of hours. And then after that, we're doing an impact party. And these are definitely play parties, so people do have the option to play if they want to. And play can range. It does not necessarily have to mean sexual encounters, but it can.
Okay.
But we're doing this weekly, Wednesdays and Thursdays. And then next Saturday, September 6th, we're already in September, I'm going to be doing my master class for the 5 things you should have learned about sex growing up because you deserve better. So that's already on Eventbrite.
Oh, wow. I love that. Well, I hope you are taking notes because it's time to level up your intimacy game and make some serious waves in the bedroom, whether you're booed up or playing the field. So now it's time for Bae at the box office.
Well, we're kind of running out of time, so we're just going to thank our guest, BB. Thank you for bringing all this to the table and giving us a lesson in kink. Make sure you follow us on social media, all our platforms. We are The Dating Pool Show. And thank you to the bestie. We kind of brought you in kind of tough here, right?
I mean, mallets.
We put you right in the pool on the deep end.
And I'm swimming and loving it.
All right, everybody. Thank you for watching The Dating Pool Show, and good night.